Ellinikon in Greece. It started as a migrant shelter. Then came the plans to revamp it as Greece's main smart city and a playground for the rich. And now Greece is on fire. This is a map of the areas burning. So you've got an area called Ellinikon in Greece that went from migrant camp in 2017 to playground for the rich in 2021, dumping over $8 billion into an old airport area, turning it into just a playground of concrete and casinos. Supposedly going to be a green corridor, right? Just another smart city, nothing to see here, folks. Hello everyone, my name is Samantha Starkey and I just returned from Maui for the 1-year anniversary and memorials for the fire victims of Lahaina and Upcountry. On that trip, I hear about this. Greece is burning. The thing that bothers me the most, folks, watch this clip.
Athens and evacuation orders are in effect. Here to explain what is going on is AccuWeather senior meteorologist Tyler Royce. Tyler, thank you so much for joining us.
Of course.
I feel like here in the U.S. we are used to wildfire season in California. We don't hear as much outside of Athens. What is happening on the ground in Greece right now?
So right now there are two significant fires really going on just east of the city, on the outskirts of the city. And what's happening is there's some very gusty winds, and it's been referred to the gale winds, just how strong they are.
Now, for most of you that have been following these very odd wildfires that have been happening for the past, 5 years around the world, but seriously in the last 18 months, there's some triggers that go off when you hear certain words. Running aluminum rims, and the car engine blocks melting due to extreme heat. Also, when they talk about the dried grasses, like in Maui, listen to this. This is Greece.
Dry it has been in that part of Greece, especially Athens, all of southern Greece, and that goes back all the way back to the winter. And that's even going, we can continue to go back the last couple of years with just a lack of precipitation for that area. The ground is just so dry. So anything that sparks.
Now make sure you hit the like, comment, and subscribe. If you were already subscribed, please make sure that you're still subscribed, because YouTube likes to unsubscribe people on us now. Guys, I've been flying for like 16 hours, but I had to get this information out to you. I want you to understand, right? They're drying out the atmosphere. They're heating up the waters. They're messing with the precipitation. And the winds that are so out of control in these fires, I believe are being caused by HAARP weapons, okay? Now, you may not agree with that, but that's what I'm finding over the past year as I deep dive into these types of fires. I wanted to bring it up because prior to the Maui Lahaina fires, Lahaina was the last coastal land in Maui that was still owned by the people, okay? It brought in more tourist dollars and had the best beaches. And they wanted to make it a smart city. Watch this.
But you actually could click through and find out everything about that person, and maybe not about the person, but you could find out what the county knows about that owner of the property. I just find this absolutely stunning. Here you can find out all about who owns these buildings. Now, here's what I find
Then you see it burn, right? Same thing with Chile and now with Greece. You're hearing smart city, revamp it, green corridors, paradise, environmental, all of those buzzwords, and then the whole area around where they want to put all these places mysteriously burns. I don't know, you guys. I just don't believe in coincidences. Now, I want you to watch this clip I found. It's an older one from Brush Junkie, but it's going to compare the Maui fire to the Chile fire. And just now, I kind of did a real quick comparison of the Athens, Greece fire, right, with the Maui Lahaina fire. There's a reason I'm connecting all this for you. There's a reason these specific places are burning. They're all coastal cities where the rich like to go. And the locals have a handhold of historical lands, of businesses. Yeah. So what are they going to do? They're going to get them out of there one way or the other, folks. They try to do it through the smart city. When the locals push back, all of a sudden, those areas are burned to the ground in a crazy wildfire. I don't know. I don't believe it. But I am exhausted. Thank you, every one of you that rode in our boat for this mission trip to Maui. I cannot wait to sit down and do the breakdown of how we pass the money out and just tell you guys the stories of the people that you blessed. We've got a lot of Zooms coming up with some of the fire victims now that we're home and away from all the emotion of Maui. I just wanted to tell you that this platform is so different than all the other ones. You guys are doers. You are not sitters. You're actually the hands and feet of Jesus Christ, and I love you guys for it. Good night, everyone. Enjoy this next clip. Well, not enjoy it, but be educated by it. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
So here we have a swimming pool and a canopy in Chile that has survived the fire when everything around it was burnt. You'll notice that the color of the swimming pool and the color of the canopy is both blue. The canopy does have white stripes, but the blue seems to have insulated it, and the swimming pool is also blue and appears to have been insulated. So now we're going to jump to a car that has been completely burned out, and you can see that there's actually a wooden pallet sitting next to the car, and about 3 feet from the car, the wood goes from completely burnt to completely unburnt in a practically straight line that looks like it was a radiative heat source that originated with the car itself and terminated at about 3 feet from the car. Also notice that on the right passenger side of the car, there is one of those large 3 to 5 gallon polycarbonate bottles that is also blue. It may have been placed there after the fire, but it may have been sitting there prior. So if that's the case, then we have another example of blue plastic that has survived what would have been intense heat if it was actually heat. Alright, so now we're going to take a look at this pallet, and you can see how the wood goes from completely burned on one side to completely unburned on the other, which is really only going to happen in the case of a radiative heat source. Alright, so we also have aluminum from a car that has melted, and this is posted by India Today, and this was actually the engine block of the car. That's why there's so much aluminum that has run like a river. It was probably 2,700 degrees Fahrenheit to liquefy both metal and glass. Here we can see more aluminum running in a river downhill, and to completely liquefy aluminum like this would require well over 1,200 degrees, perhaps close to 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Here's another car that has been completely burned out, and you'll notice that even the aluminum door handles are missing, the aluminum rims are missing, and the back window appears to have fallen out and melted across the back of the trunk. It almost looks like it's draped across as if it was a throw rug. Alright, next we have another car here in Chile. This is the one that was sitting next to the pallet, and you can see how the rims and everything have been completely melted into puddles, and the paint has been completely fried off. Here is a truck in Chile that appears to have been parked on top of one of the rims. Now, I don't know if this is the rim from the truck itself or if this is another rim, but it appears that this rim was present in that position during the fire, if not beforehand. But this possibly happened during the fire, and I saw a lot of cars like this in Maui where they were lifted up on the front or back end, and then when they came back down, sometimes they were resting on their own engine block or on their own axles, or in this case, on its own rim. Alright, here we have more cars in Chile that have been completely destroyed along the road here. And you can also see that the footprint of the buildings appears to be more white and gray rather than a black, sooty, carbon-based ash. Here's another angle of a street in Chile where you can see that all of the cars have pretty much had their paint color removed, except for maybe with the one red car in the lower left. There's also in the center right, there is a blue